What's up guys, my name is Liam, and in today's video we're going to be taking a look at the MCHOSE A7X Ultra, and MCHOSE has been doing a fantastic job recently with releases like the L7 being some of the best budget gaming mice out there. However, a trend that we're starting to see is a lot of these brands are starting to move towards a more premium style of gaming mice. Even though they have released Magnesium mice in the past, I just really feel like they've really fine-tuned some of these top-end releases and given it a real premium overall experience. So in this video, I'm going to be breaking down how my experience with this mouse has been so far, and hopefully by the end of this video, I'll be able to help you decide whether or not this could possibly be the perfect gaming mouse for you. So let's check it out. And before we get started today, I do want to let you know this was sent out to me. However, everything you'll be hearing in this video is going to be my own words and my own opinions. So in case you haven't already seen, I actually already did an unboxing of this over on my Twitter or X account. It does have this carbon fiber looking case that you can store everything in. Once you do open it up, here's what you're looking at. And I did kind of pull a lot of this stuff out already. The mouse is obviously over here. Does come with this velvety, honestly pretty premium feeling little bag over here. And then you also get things included like a USB-C to USB type A cable. Here's a look of the wireless receiver that is included. You can actually remove it here from this adapter itself. This does go up to an 8,000 hertz polling rate. Rubberized bottom, USB-C in the back. It does also come with these additional skates, though I haven't opened them up and looked at them yet. These do actually feel like they're glass skates, though I'm not necessarily a fan of glass skates myself. It also does have this bottom piece that does allow you to cover up the open bottom to prevent any type of hairs or anything getting in there. And then they also do include these grips as well. And honestly, these grips, they do feel like they're rubberized. All right, so here we got a look of the mouse itself, and everything just about the layout on this does look really clean. It does kind of have this thinner style of a skate here, though I do like how it does go all the way around the outside. I've been gaming on softer control pads and haven't had too many issues that feel like it is sinking in or anything like that. I'm not sure exactly what type of skates these are. They do appear to be some type of version PTFE. Honestly, the glide on them has felt really great, and it does feel really smooth. So really glad that they're coming out with better skates on their mice. Do have your power button over here on the right hand side. This does have Bluetooth capability, and then switch it up to the top to use the wireless receiver. It does come included with. And then you do also have a DPI button over here on the left hand side. Back over at the top, this does come with a coating on it, and it does feel pretty grippy. I do feel like when I first got out of the box, it did feel a bit more grippy, and the coating has become a little bit less grippy the more that I have used it. As far as the build does go on this mouse, everything has felt really solid for me. I haven't come across any types of issues of any weak points or anything like that. For mouse 1 and 2, this is using the Omron Opticals, and honestly the clicks on this mouse, they feel pretty much near perfect on my unit. You get like pretty much almost no pre-travel. I'd say there's a little bit of movement there, but it does go right into a click. Post-travel on this feels pretty solid. These clicks are nice and lightweight. You don't get any real noticeable left to right on mouse 1 and 2. And honestly, the implementation on this all the way from front to back feels really good. One thing I really like about these Magnesium mice is you don't get a whole lot of play up here in the front because you don't get any of that additional type of button bending due to how stiff the material is. So truly, I've been really enjoying mouse 1 and 2 on this, considering the fact that the Omron Opticals, some of my favorite switches out there, are just so lightweight and easy to spam. For the scroll wheel, I would say that the tensioning on the scroll is really light, and the steps on are actually really small. So you can feel them there the more that you push into the scroll wheel. But if you're just scrolling like this, they're actually really light steps. And then the center scroll wheel click, I would say it's not that stiff, actually pretty easy to press in, but I'd say just a little bit more on the stiffer end than some of the recent ones that I've been testing out. But when it does come to the side buttons on this mouse, I don't really have any complaints about these side buttons. You get just a very minimal amount of play back here in the rear. Clicking here in the middle, you get almost no pre. Once you do click, not a whole lot of post either. A little bit of movement here left to right, but nothing that you notice at all in game. Just really trying to nitpick this as much as I can. But yeah, truly everything about the feeling of this for the build and the clicks. Everything really does feel really solid on my unit. So let's go ahead and drop a click quality sound test. When it does come to the weight and balance, something I've been complaining about in just about every video lately is everybody just deciding to use a 500 milliamp hour battery all of a sudden. That is what is included inside of here, but I will say that the positioning and mounting of the 500 milliamp hour battery in this was actually done pretty well, as the balance on this does feel really solid. Of course, I would always prefer a little bit of a lighter weight battery, but dropping on my scale, just the stock skates and everything on this out of the box, looks like it's coming in a little bit under advertised at 52.7 grams. Here's an overview of the web-based driver. It does give me access to make all the types of adjustments to mice that I like to do, like adjust the polling rate, DPI. You can even drop the click to bounce setting down as low as 0 milliseconds. This also does have the 20K FPS performance unlock for the sensor. When it does come to the performance, this is using the Realtek chipset that has been performing very well in recent times. Unfortunately, with this new firmware solution, I wasn't able to get any numbers to pull off of my XLAT. However, everything about the performance has been feeling fantastic for me as I've been using it in game. So when it does come to the shape of this mouse, this is a bigger version of its little brother, the AX5. The AX5 is a mouse that I've been long calling the GPX Mini. And now that we do have a GPX Mini out, this is actually longer than the actual GPX Mini that did get released. But all around, just a same shape, but a bigger version. Pretty much the exact same scale of the original Logitech GPX. So let's drop a shape comparison between both of these. All right, and last but not least, we will compare it to the GPX. Like I told you guys, pretty much just a clone. Everything about the scale of these is pretty similar to one another. Look at the curve profile from the top down to the sides, and here's a look of the side profile over here on both of these. Alright guys, so that wraps things up on the MCHOSE A7X Ultra, and truly I've been having a really great experience with this mouse. Now I've been very vocal on my channel in the past about the GPX shape not really being a shape that I'm that much of a fan of. I actually do really like the Mini. I've been enjoying using the GPX Mini a lot, but just this larger version is just not a shape that really works out for me. It just feels a little bit too potatoey and a little bit too flat for my preference. But if you are a fan of the GPX shape, truly everything about this mouse has felt really good. I do feel like the coating could be better on it, but as far as the build quality with the clicks and everything like that, the side buttons feel good. Comparing it to my copy of the GPX2 anyways that I have, where those buttons feel heavier and the side buttons feel mushier on it, the side buttons on this feel better, and the clicks especially feel much better. They feel much lighter weight, crispier, and easier to spam. So the weight on this is done really good. I do wish they would have put a little bit smaller battery on this, got the weight down just a little bit more, but really everything about the feeling of this, from the balance, the performance in game, has been really solid. So if this is a shape that you're a huge fan of and you'd be interested in checking out, then I can absolutely recommend checking this out. And MCHOSE has been doing a really solid job with all their products lately, and this one definitely does feel like a very premium product. So if you guys do have any additional questions or feel like I left anything out, please let me know in the comments down below. If you have enjoyed watching this video and are interested in seeing more like this in the future, please drop this video a like and subscribe to my channel. Thank you guys so much for watching. I look forward to seeing you in the next one.